Hey guys, welcome to MOV Farms. Well, I got something different. I want to talk about trailers. Something, something something I really need for handy for the farm and also for a side business I have, which I've had for many years. But the thing is, mostly what I'll be doing is hauling equipment around, like a skid steer or mini excavator or my backhoe. So I'm just trying to figure out what is the best solution, what's the best way to do this. My other option is also to get maybe a dump trailer. I'd like to maybe put out like a little, ask my subscribers or people who watch my videos uh, some opinions, or what's your opinion on it? Does a guy buy a dump trailer or buy a flat deck trailer? And I mean, basically, there's more. Depends on the pros and cons, right? Um, Basically, for me, it if the price is the price is a big deal too. But I mean, how much money is the guy going to make out of both pieces of both trailers, right? So this kind of things you guys think about. I mean, with a flat deck trailer, I mean, I know I can do a lot of different things with it. And if I want to haul brush or whatever, I can still put sides if the trailer has stake pockets on there. Um, it's just something the guy can look at. I am going to be going up the valley here, within an hour away, I guess it is, and then we'll look at some trailers. There's a guy here who sells all sorts of different kinds of trailers, dump trailers, flat deck trailers, horse trailers, all sorts of different things, all sorts of different variety of trailers. But waiting for the weather to smarten up first. So I have to basically find a trailer that is no shorter than 12 foot long, because thing is, once you add on a like the tractor has a loader on it, then the backhoe, and then you want to add on see if you want to do some mowing and all sorts of different things. The trailer is very handy where you can well, it depends. Trailer, sometimes you buy a trailer that is 12-foot deck plus 2 foot of dovetail, which makes it literally a 14-foot trailer, which is pretty handy, right? And also then some. So, um, for me to go buy a 14-foot trailer with a 2-foot dovetail on it, or 12-foot, it's kind of two configurations. In a flat deck trailer, pretty plain Jane, rating between 10 and 15,000 pounds. I'm looking at about $7,000 Canadian, brand new. So there's that, and I still have a pretty good weight rating. Like, also on the other hand too, if you can go cheaper than that, I mean, you're not really going to gain a lot. I mean, guy can go to 7,000 pound weight capacity, but you're kind of really limiting yourself, because if a guy gets a skid steer or a mini excavator, I mean, even a 2-ton mini excavator, 2.5 ton, you're still going to be a bit of weight there, right? So you think about, well, a ton is about it's like 2,200 pounds roughly. So if you were I mean, if you got a trailer that is rated for 7,000 pounds, well, you're just borderline on a 2.5 ton mini excavator. So I really go to a little more weight capacity trailer, just because it gives me more options. See, like the flat deck trailer, I mean, the guy can do a lot of things with it. The guy can basically, if you're smart about it, you can go do little deliveries for people. Kind of advertise yourself out that way and have a flat deck trailer, and you go do jobs like hauling whatever, lumber or fertilizers or whatever a guy can do with a trailer. Same thing, pretty similar what hotshot truck drivers do, right? Most of those guys have a flat deck trailer and they do little jobs. So that's something that's kind of appealing to me. I'm kind of interested in that. There's always money to be made that way. I mean, there's always people who need something hauled, even just different things. But the other thing I've thought about too is getting a dump trailer. Just hold on a minute here. I'm going to bring it up. So this is another setup I've thought about doing, is going a dump trailer. A dump trailer you have many options with, and it gives you a lot of options to make money. I've used dump trailers off and on for many years, and they're one handy piece of machinery, but sometimes you can be limited on what you can do with them too, right? So I don't know. Dump trailer, I mean, you can do a whole pile of work and made easy too. My secondary business is I do tree removal, brush removal, and so forth. Even brush mowing I'll be getting into as well. So I mean, it's very useful for many different things, and you can make still a lot of money with it. But the thing is, you're kind of limited to what you can haul with it, because the thing is, you have to factor in, okay, so basically you factor in the weight of the trailer and then what you can haul in it, and you kind of start figuring then you basically you figure out the weight of the trailer, what you can haul in it, and then what do you use to pull with it. what is your tractor going to be? So tractor trailer is kind of more or less what I understand, because I've done lots of that currently and also in the past too. So many different factors to think about. It kind of same applies to flat deck trailer too. Depends on the weight you're going to be hauling. You definitely need a good power plant to pull a damn thing. Also stop it too. I do have quite a bit of experience in both in tractor trailer and also dump trailer too, and dump truck as well. So, but anyways, I'm just trying to figure out what is going to be the best option for a small business starting out. Does a guy have buy a flat deck trailer or buy a dump trailer? I mean, it's nice to have both things, but the thing is, you can't afford everything. A guy can't have both things. Well, he can, but in a different configuration, which I'll show in a minute. I mean, I do have a little Ford dump truck. You guys might have seen that in a previous video, and it's a very handy thing to have. But that old Ford dump truck, it's getting to be pretty tired, and to be using that thing going across towns and cities and so forth, it just is not. It's barely. It's just not road. It's just not safe anymore for the road. It's so worn out. It's not even funny. And a dump trailer would replace the a dump truck for sure. But the dump truck has its options. Has its options too, right? Has its uses. So just something of interest. Like I said, I'm just trying to get my second business going here, and basically trying to figure out what I need, what a guy needs to get going here. Of course, I mean, like I said, in this kind of application, I mean, it would have to be at least 12 to 14 foot long, and the guys look anywhere from $8,900 Canadian and up, depending what kind of option you get. I know some of these trailers come in a single hoist post, like similar to a dump truck, or they have duals, dual cylinders underneath, or one cylinder underneath. in my opinion, I'd rather have one cylinder underneath, because that way you get it just seems to lift. Well, it's less hassle. if you if you ever use big heavy duty dump trailers, most of them have just one big scissor lift cylinder. Makes it less maintenance, right? So yeah, there's so many options a guy can do, so many things a guy can do with a dump trailer, but every damn Joe Blow in the country has a dump trailer nowadays. So if I got to resell it, I mean, they keep their value pretty good, but they also people steal them too, so that's always another factor. People steal flat deck trailers too. I mean, basically, have to use your common sense and not put something somewhere where it's gonna get ripped off, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of very on the fence of what to buy. The flat deck trailer is probably the best bet for me, but for what I'm doing. But on the other hand, a dump trailer is handy too for doing that much more jobs. Kind of depends. Excuse me. So here is my ultimate. This is my ultimate idea. I've had this idea for many years, and I never had the financial backing to do anything. And I've hummed and hawed about doing this business for many years, and it's really well, going back a ways. I mean, with farming and so forth, it's hard to have money in your pocket to go buy different things, right? I mean, especially orcharding, it's kind of tough, right? And you have a job, I mean, money doesn't stretch as much as you really want it to. But this is my ultimate setup. This is the setup I would love to have. This is what I'd love to have, right? So this is the ultimate setup I do for my business. That way, the guy you have the dump truck, little dump truck, the dumper, a little skid steer, back mini, or you have a mini excavator, dump trailer, and this is the perfect setup in my mind. This is the best setup for a guy who has a business, a landscaping business, a hardscaping business, whatever, brush control, whatever. Because the thing is, all these pieces of machinery get heavy, right? And here's the tractor here. That tractor can basically pull whatever you want to pull with it. It has the brakes, has the power. It may not have lots of power, but it has the brakes and the torque to pull this setup. You have stuff in the box and on the deck too. And you're golden. So, I mean, basically, I want to have a setup where if, I mean, I don't really want to hire anybody. I like to really just do it on my own, much as possible, because once you start hiring people, you have to, it just gets more complicated. And there's one guy I follow on YouTube, known as Heavy Haul TV, Sergey, and he has a saying I really like, and he calls it KISS, the KISS system. Keep it simple, stupid. And that is a good system to go by. And I mean, to me it makes a lot of sense, because I want to be an owner, operator, or independent, self-employed things. I mean, been self-employed most of my life, so I can't understand that whole terminology. So when you start adding employees, you start asking for a lot of trouble sometimes. Depends on what you're into. So yeah, but I mean, this is my ultimate setup I like to have in the future. It's just pros and cons to everything. I mean, like I said, I have my backhoe, kind of going off on a different tangent here. A backhoe is useful and useless all at the same time, but you get the best of both worlds. But I mean, it's nice having these two options, either skid steer or skid steer and mini excavator. So anyways, this is, like I said, this is my ultimate setup. This is what I'm going to be striving for the next little while. Um, you know, I probably will be buying the flat deck trailer, more than likely, because this is what I want, right? That's what I really what I want of a setup. I mean, a guy doesn't need to have a brand new truck. You know, a brand new truck is nice, but it's more problems. It's just more and more expense, right? Depends on your situation with your money. If you're handy, you can buy some older and fix it and fix it and fix it and fix it. I mean, you're probably saying, why don't I fix the Ford? Well, Ford is not my. I don't really like Ford trucks. to be honest, I don't like them. So either Dodge or Chevrolet, preferably. This is what I mostly had in my life. I mean, I've had some Ford trucks over the years, but I don't know. I like my either Chevy or Dodge, preferably. So anyway, you know, if it's or of course I like, you know, international. I like Kenworth, and you know, international is probably one of my favorites. This is probably a Ford. It's in front of the truck here. I mean, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But old stuff I like. I like the old heavy duty Ford trucks and so forth. But yeah. So anyways, I just want to post up a little video there, asking my viewers, what would you buy? Would you buy a trailer like that for starting a business up? It's a potential of buying something more bigger and more useful for pulling this little dump truck, you know, so forth. Or buy a little dump trailer like this, which is useful in a million ways, but also limits you too. So I don't know. I'll leave it in your guys' hands to tell me what you think about it, and just leaving that with you. That is my ultimate setup.